it says it's live. I don't know if it's actually
Yeah.
live, but I guess we'll see. But
Interesting.
let's fire this thing up. Hold on, I gotta share. Share. It's been a while, so I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We're rusty over here.
all right, hit and go. Here we go.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Here we go, indeed. Oh my
This
gosh.
guy, some idiot. So
So
we are.
I was gonna say,
Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New
New Year,
Year.
Earl.
What's going on? Because this is
What's going?
weird. As
We
our
got some weird stuff going on. Okay, so we're a little delayed starting today. Happy birthday to the missus.
thanks.
So you had a little family obligations there. Totally understood. So we're a little late. So I'm over here. I'm eating my pizza,
Yeah,
which for the record is high quality pizza. It's not just some fast food stuff. There's a award-winning pizza joint in our housing development here.
nice.
So today's show is sponsored by Lenore. Is it? It's Lenore.
Pizza.
Lorneor. Not actually sponsored. If any lawyers are watching, they're not actually a sponsor. So I'm going to
And
pizza route, and you're going the different route. You're going the back and forth route. You are on a treadmill.
a different route. I'm on a treadmill on the show today because I wanted to see, hey, can we pull it off while I'm on a treadmill or not? Get my steps in. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but we're gonna find out soon.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hypnotic. It'll viewers will be drawn in by just the
I like
hypnotic
to
back and
walking back
forth.
and forth here while I'm on.
Just watch the swaying Earl back and forth.
There you go. So
You will
it's
subscribe
definitely
to our
different.
newsletter.
It's definitely different. Everything's just slightly out of reach. So now it's like, no, gotta go over there, touch this, and yeah, I
We'll
guess we'll
see
see.
how we'll see how it goes, and then yeah, if it goes good, then this can just be how you get your steps in every once a week. You can get your steps in
Once a
on
week
the
it'll be
show.
on the show part way through. Well, I've made it so that every Zoom call I'm on now, if I'm not like in deep thought and like combing through spreadsheets and data and craziness, that I'm on a treadmill. And so far so good. It's been I've been hitting my step goal every day, so it's pretty good. Can't complain.
Way to go! Sounds like a good way to do it.
So we wished ChatGPT Happy New Year and wished Happy New Year back. By the way, I actually did say Happy New Year on the first prompt, but
I
then
bet it did. It's very
I
polite.
had to cut it down because it gave us too much information. So
I had an interaction today. I had to speak to customer service for an entity that I assumed was like I think Russian, somewhere overseas, something.
okay,
Some far off place, and it seemed like a very large corporation. So I assumed my little request for assistance would get lost in the mix. But then I got this message back and said, it said, oh, we're going to try and resolve this for you. I'm going to see what I can do, and let's see if we can't solve this problem for you. I'm on it right now. And I was like, wow, that was great. Actually, I feel very acknowledged. I really feel heard. And then I was like, how do I know it's not ChatGPT?
you don't.
How it's not? How you know it's not AI? Just program AI. When someone makes a request, make it really sound like you care about their request and are going to do something about it.
You don't.
But it worked. I don't know.
Hey,
I feel like someone's on it. I feel good.
you feel
I'm happy.
acknowledged. Yeah.
hmm But
So
it's literally just text on a page, and there's no way to know for sure if it's a person who's actually interested in your case or just a ChatGPT
very
program who's
friendly
been
robot.
programmed to sound interested in your case.
Either way, friendly robot works. Speaking of friendly robot, I finally decided to update, and I'm paying for ChatGPT now. Like I didn't have a reason to pay for it before, back in the day, but I'm on ChatGPT 4 now, the paid version of it, and it incorporates with the DALL-E AI, so I don't need
Oh my
Midjourney
God.
anymore. And I type into ChatGPT and it makes me pictures now. And I'm like, hey, this is really cool. I don't have to type it in. It makes me a prompt. I go to Midjourney. I type in Midjourney. No, it just does it straight up now. So And
What does it cost for ChatGPT 4?
$20 a month.
Okay.
For 20
Yeah, I think I'm
bucks.
spending 10, 15 on Midjourney right now.
So for 20 bucks, I get an upgraded Chat GPT that can talk to the internet, and
Oh my Lord.
and it makes pictures and does other stuff. I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. So there you go.
All right. I have to think about doing that one.
There you go. Sorry, Midjourney, but one AI he just ate you. So there you go.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Jasper. Remember Jasper?
Yeah, people still use that though. By the way,
I don't know. I was paying $80 a month because it was like, it absolutely streamlined all the blog writing that we were doing.
yeah.
And then ChatGPT came along and was like, hey, I will do it for $0. And you're like, okay, love
With-
you, Jasper. You've been
with
great, but
the same
bye.
engine, with the
Yeah.
same, right?
And actually, I think it was even easier to use, more versatile.
Yeah, ChatGPT was better than Jasper for a bit, and then Jasper caught up, and then back and forth and back and forth, and the AI arms race continues, and here we are
Oh my
now.
God.
So,
Yeah, the speed of the AI arms race scares the crap out of me. But anyway, another
absolutely.
topic for another time.
For sure.
It is the new year. I showed up with my default background
Uh-huh.
here, and I was like, oh, I got to find a background to fit today's show. And then I was just like, we're celebrating the world, making it around the sun.
One more time.
Perfect. There we go. So there's the globe. There's Earth, and it's returned back to its original position.
Happy New Year it is.
Yes. So we wanted to ask ChatGPT this week for some suggestions on how to make the most of this new year with your business.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is I wished Happy New Year in the prompt, and I wished Happy New Year back.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can program politeness into a chat program, but not into most people, or some people. So you asked, what are some new year methods to grow your business in 2024? Instead of gave you 10, then you had it narrowed down to just 3.
Our show is only like 45 minutes usually, so I didn't want to spend like the next 98 minutes, 2 hours going through all 10. So here we are.
Yeah. So we narrowed it down. You said, what are the top 3 suggestions from the ones you gave me, alongside 2 things not to do? Do you hear that notification sound just now?
I did. Was that yours?
That was me. Yeah.
All good.
See if I can convince it to stop doing that in just a second.
Notifying.
So yeah, alongside 2, so 3 top suggestions alongside 2 things not to do, with 1 red hot tip on how to grow your business in the new year.
I really like this 3-2-1, framework. It works for me.
Yeah, it gives you a lot. It gives you a lot to play with in the beginning, and then you narrow it down, get a little tighter, and wrap it up on a big red hot tip. So what does it say? We'll start. The top 3 suggestions. These are top 3 suggestions to grow your business in 2024. We assume everyone is out there. New Year's gives you a chance to reset, reprioritize, retarget. It's a good moment. And so the top 3 suggestions for specifically 2024. Number 1, leverage technology and automation. Oh, that ties into what we were just talking about. Yep. Embracing new technologies can significantly improve efficiency and customer satisfaction. Again, just what we were just talking about. It's like I was a satisfied customer. Hey, this guy's really listening to me. No idea if he actually is, but I feel like it. Automation in areas like customer service, marketing, and inventory can save time and reduce errors. Excuse me. I'll just say I was making an ad for myself for my own internet marketing company for the new year. Hey, it's a new year. You want to get a new website for that business that you're planning to start as part of your New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
And I was using I'm not an expert graphic designer by any means. I'm barely an amateur, but I was fiddling around trying to I had a vision in my head, trying to this, trying to that. And I couldn't quite, it wasn't popping for me. It just, sometimes you just can't get it. Then I was like, And I just went to Midjourney. I started by asking Midjourney, I was like, make me a cool background for my ad. I'm making an ad. Make me a cool background. And I wasn't quite getting what I wanted. And I was just like, you know what? Just make me an ad for the internet marketing services.
Yeah, who knew?
Done. I put up some nonsense text in there, so I'd use my Photoshop skills to get the text out.
Right.
Put my own text in. 10 minutes later, ad was up. Lead came in that day.
Seriously?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So there are.
I'm embracing AI over here.
Tools, and apparently I'll be learning them soon, that create all the creative you need for an ad. these days, and it's insane. It just gives you all of them, and I'm like, oh, cool. And it'll remix you as many as you want, under whatever terminology you want, under whatever style you want. And so it's pretty interesting how the AI can do that kind of stuff these days. So I'll have to agree. It seems a little self-serving that the AI said, "Hey, use more AI," but leverage technology and automation. You can't go wrong. And like you said, you have no idea whether that's a real person or an artificial intelligence telling you on customer service, "Hey, we give a damn." So who knows? But you feel good.
I do feel good. What about, so we all know about AI, but like, what other, what are your tech predictions as far as this field, business, entrepreneurial tech innovations that you foresee in the coming year?
The funny thing is, it's not necessarily new innovation. It's actually just going back to the drawing board, right? I know a lot of times I talk about going back to the foundations and fundamentals. One of those fundamental things is that these days people still aren't using even CRMs, right? Just having
Right.
a regular old CRM to do your stuff and keep in contact with people. And here is my I guess I don't know myself, right? I myself am at fault. I've set up CRMs for thousands of other companies. Guess whose dumbass doesn't have a CRM set up for myself yet? And the funny thing is, I'm even putting you in touch with Sean, who's going to be helping you set up Go High Level for our project for the bet.
Mm.
And that's a CRM, right? So the funny thing is, there's a lot of companies who don't use just the basic automations, right?
Yeah.
And so my prediction will be that any company who isn't using these basic automations is just going to fall by the wayside. Because I'm watching, there was an article that showed me, I think, 80 to 100 of the top restaurants in BC that died last year. So that just kicked the bucket in the last 365 days. And there were some pretty big names in there. I'm like, really? That restaurant died? They were doing so well. But I'm looking back at some of these things, and like a lot of these old guys, they don't use birthday reminders. They don't use just the basic stuff that a simple CRM could do, where just reach your customer happy birthday on their birthday. Why don't you come in for a free dessert or whatever, right? And so just those basic automations, that leveraging technology and automation, absolutely yes. But a lot of the businesses in our neck of the woods are so far behind the 8 ball, they don't even do the basics. So there you go. So wholeheartedly agree. AI, thumbs up on that one. You use more AI, use more basic automation.
Funny when you said about not having a CRM for yourself. I was just about to chime in and say one of my biggest clients, with thousands and thousands. He's been in business for 25 years. He's got thousands of names and contacts and old clients and leads that never panned out. He didn't have he had a CRM, but it wasn't functioning. Nobody was running it. And I was about to throw him under the bus when I realized I don't have one for my business at all.
So I don't have one for mine. I do pretty okay without one, but if I had one, it would do better, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. So here's a fun little fact, because sometimes we don't run the show because we're on the boat, right? Because next week is boat week, right?
Is it already next week? Oh my God.
Next week. So 7 days from now, we'll be on the boat. So we'll have the short version of the show going, "Hey, sorry, there's no show, we're on the boat." But the funny thing is, we've actually booked out the boat for the entire year. So I have all the dates for the boat for the whole year. So what that means? I can load this crap into a CRM and automate messages telling people, "Hey," because everybody asks me, "Hey, when's the boat?" So as we do our newsletter project and as we do some of these automations, we know exactly which day the boats are on now. So ta-da, automation. And that just makes everything better.
Yeah, and you can set up an automation like anybody who was confirmed to come for the boat and didn't show up gets tagged as a no-show, and then the CRM or the automation automatically sends out, "Hey, sorry we missed you on the boat, but good news, there's another one coming up. Buy your tickets here."
There you go.
And
So
plan
I'm
it out for the
adding
whole year.
automations and CRM stuff to my own thing. So my Tuesday events that I run, where I just answer questions for people live, I'm setting up CRMs and automations for all those things too. So if you showed up, you didn't show up, you told me you're going to show up, you didn't show up, sends you a different message. So
Yeah, you're in trouble. We're still got to be in there a little bit because we got to. Well, I mean, the ultimate automation, we have someone click a thing when they arrive, and automatically get tagged in the CRM as being there or not if they don't.
Right,
But
right.
as for right now, you still got to manually tell your CRM this guy was not there or this guy was, right?
For now, but that's what virtual assistants are for. So soon the virtual assistants will do that, and then them and and the AIs will take over the world.
Great. Maybe in the future we'll just spend all of January setting up the automations for the year, and then that's all the work we got to do.
There you go. Well, there's
All
good
right.
deep fakes these days. So I saw a deep fake of a friend of mine. I'm like, that does actually sound like him. So he used 11 labs to train it for the voice, and he used whatever that deep fake technology was to look like him. And it actually wasn't half bad, because up until then, all of the AI fakes I saw were terrible. But now, because it watched his movements, saw his body language, understood that, threw that into some giant magic database, and now it moves like him, which is kind of creepy, right? So, and then 11 Labs can mimic your voice. You say a bunch of Mission Impossible is real now, right? So,
Never mind Mission Impossible. Black Mirror is real. That episode where they recreate that woman's dead husband.
yeah, there you go. Like, this stuff is real now, and quote unquote normal and affordable. So yeah, it's kind of insane.
All
So,
right.
all
It's
right.
so hard. It's so hard to have any conversation about technology now without going down an alley where you're immediately like, "This is so crazy."
Well, yeah,
Uh,
this is the Twilight Zone, but for real now.
yeah. All right. On a cheery note, next of the top three suggestions for the year: expand digital marketing efforts. In today's digital world, having a strong online presence is crucial. Duh. Focus on SEO, content marketing, and social media to reach a broader audience and engage with customers effectively.
So, as an SEO and content marketer, I can't help but agree with that. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, this is ChatGPT answering the question, reconnected to the internet now, because this is ChatGPT 4 answering this question. It's connected to the internet, and I asked it specifically in 2024, what should we be doing? And part of the ones that were cut off and the ones that were cut off, it was talking about expanding digital marketing beyond this piece. It was talking about how everything is getting more expensive, and that we should be focusing more on organic rather than just purely paid. It's a bit of both worlds. It's not saying one or the other, but it's saying, hey, pay more attention to organic, because you got to stretch that dollar further these days. So agreed, absolutely agreed. So, and
Brilliant.
I'm biased, but
Yeah.
the robot
I,
said so. So good job, robot. I'm on your side.
so I'm just gonna digress here, or not digress, but go the opposite route, because I always like to zig when everyone else is zagging. So everybody's online, everybody's content marketing, everybody's you know everybody's everything.
It's the other way
You
around.
can't ignore it.
Everybody's running ads. If you look at if I just look at the ads that are being served to me today,
Yeah.
everyone's trying to sell me ads that sell ads.
Hmm.
And if I look at, let's just call it 10 of them, 7, 8 out of 10 are teaching me ads that sell more ads, and only 2 are talking about content and online presence that sticks around, whether or not I'm paying Google or TikTok or LinkedIn $1 or not.
Hmm.
So this is saying, hey, everyone's doing this. It's weird because the AI is telling you to zig when everyone else is zagging, whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
interesting. So, but
Right. Yeah. So this the digital marketing here is not paid. It's not suggesting anything paid. It's
no,
suggesting
it's not
SEO,
suggesting
content marketing.
paid, but it's because it's connecting to the internet and checking everything out. Like, if I had asked this, I think of ChatGPT 3 or 3.5 before it could connect to the internet,
Hmm.
I think it would say that otherwise. I think it would say, hey, do paid ads. So it's
Interesting.
answering different now that it's connected to the internet, which is kind of creeping me out, but also cool.
Yeah. So, but what? So that's a good point. What I was getting at was I was going to sort of wondering if going offline advertising there might be room for that now. But everyone's sort of given up on it. There might be space for physical paper, posters, handouts of some kind, driving by people with a megaphone. I don't know, something. What
I,
do you think about that?
I would lean into agreeing with that, because everybody is, and it's not just because people aren't doing it. People have forgot about it.
Yeah.
And it's a couple different parts too, right? Because of COVID, because of the situation that we were in, people weren't running live events anymore. So all of a sudden, running live events is weird and new and special again. So, and the reason why our boat thing does so well is because there's so few other events to compete with it. There's nowhere else to go. I look on Meetup looking for meetups to go to. I look on Eventbrite looking for events to attend. I look on Facebook. I look on LinkedIn. There's nowhere near the level of events that were there pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
and I think even pandemic aside, just throwing it online is so much easier. Everyone just does that, right?
But people skip the simple stuff. So there was this one person I was talking to. I won't name names because but I was explaining like how I made personally $1 million back in the day was I found every coffee shop within walking distance of my area, and I just knocked on the door, grabbed a coffee or a tea. Don't have like 18 coffees in a day, your heart might explode.
Mm-hmm.
But like, have some tea or whatever, and hang out with the owner, chat them up, get to know them, and ask them, hey, can I hang a thing promoting my business on your board over there? And some of them will say yes, some of them will say no. But if you don't ask, the answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of them are going to say yes. And if you do that enough times, the phone starts ringing. And this is old school posters, old school flyers, old school, just take your business card and pin it to the board. So it works. It works, especially again now that everyone's forgotten how to do this. It's working again. So what's old is new.
Brilliant. Yeah, I could just print off that AI ad I made and take it around.
Absolutely. There you go.
They got those coffee shop news guys.
Yeah, the little
yellow
yellow newspaper, coffee shop news. Yeah.
I pick that thing up every time I see it. I always grab it.
I don't know why I do as well.
I do because I like to answer the trivia questions, but you never know when you're see an ad, and then the jokes and whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's carry on here. Utilize data analytics. So this is very technical. Data-driven decision making. It's incorrectly hyphenated decision making.
Huh.
Go back to the drawing board. Data-driven decision-making can give you a competitive edge. Use analytics to understand customer preferences, optimize your marketing strategies, and streamline operations.
The number of people who don't do this boggles my mind. And the number of people who don't just get basic business structure. So I have a bit of a rant.
Okay. Go for it.
And I will throw them under the bus this time. So I will name names. So there's a company called Menchie's that does frozen yogurts. And
okay, yeah.
It's generally a pretty happy place. My kids enjoy going there, And so we haven't gone in a while because it's winter. Who goes to buy frozen yogurt in winter? It's cold. Like, I don't want frozen yogurt right this minute. Because, in the summertime, yeah, it's hot. That sounds wonderful. But right now it's cold and rainy and sad. I don't really want to go. And so anyways, we weren't planning on going. But because my wife had a birthday offer, $5 off.
Yeah.
We went.
I took that.
The guy who was there was grumpy as crap. So he was happy as anything when we walked in the door. But we talked about the birthday special, just all of a sudden mood straight change.
Was he on Kingsway?
That's the one.
That's the guy. I went there on my birthday, and that guy was grumpy.
Yeah. Same dude. Same grumpy. And I'm like, but what he doesn't realize is from a data standpoint, so we were talking about using data analytics. If we hadn't gotten this birthday offer in January of all of the wrongest months to buy frozen yogurt, right? We would not have shown up. But I bought stuff. She bought more stuff. We spent an extra $20. And that $20 would have not seen the light of day in his store if it wasn't for that offer, which brought us in. But yet here he is, happy. Then all of a sudden, we want to use this coupon, grumpy. But we spent way more than the coupon. So anyway, just food for thought, right? Like I assume the
franchisee gets compensated for the $5 too. He was right to be grumpy when I came in the door. I got my frozen yogurt exactly there. I spent like 30 cents of cash, and the rest was the $5 offer.
We dropped another $20 on top. So it's just like,
oh my God,
we're here to spend money. And he was mad, and I'm like, dude, did you not do the math? If he didn't give us this $5, we wouldn't drop $27 on your lap. And it's just like, okay, well, I don't get it. But there you go. So grumpy guy Menchie's. This is for you.
We're calling you out. I
Yeah,
didn't think he worked there when I walked in. I walked in, there was no one behind the counter. He was sitting at one of the tables with his laptop
same,
on watching a cricket game. Yeah.
same, same guy,
Oh my gosh.
same guy. So that's weird.
I He's an older guy too, right?
Yeah, like 50s, 60s, something like that.
I have the feeling that he's not the owner of the place or the franchise, and whoever owns the franchise is like, listen, it's December or it's January, it's cold, no one's coming in. Can you just watch the shop for us? We're gonna take a couple weeks off here, and he's like, fine. So
Who
that's
knows?
why he doesn't care if you spend money or not.
Who knows? But anyway, there you go. Utilizing data analytics. Man, guys, think about this. No one's going to buy your crap. The store was dead otherwise. No one else was
Mhm.
there. We were the
Yeah.
only ones who walked in. We were the only ones who were there for the next 20 minutes. But yeah,
So okay, so what else? What are the good sources of data for you in looking at how your customers behave? I know that most of my clients, when I take them on, are not running Google Analytics, they're not running Search Console. They have no idea what's going on with their website.
you don't need fancy data analytics to use data-driven decision making. I'll say that again. You don't need fancy analytics, right?
I'm
So
listening.
there's a car dealership, and they don't have fancy data anything. And I can tell you that for sure because I would want to set up all their crap from zero. And all they had was it was hilarious. It's an old school calendar, like paper, with tick marks, and the tick marks showed when people came to the dealership and when it was dead. And understanding when people come and why people came, old school pen and paper, and based on that information, understanding when to run specials, when to do certain things, when to put out the hot dog cart, when to whatever, made all the difference in the world. These guys were old school as it gets. And it was neat, them understanding, hey, around this time, more walk-ins occur. This is around the time when we should probably do our customer appreciation and do free hot dog and popcorn. And they did that, snail mailed everybody. Again, not a lick of technology. And that still made their business grow. So you don't need to get fancy, right? Let's say you own a restaurant. Just figure out, are you guys busier during dinner or lunch? When people do dinner, around what time do they start buying drinks up? So maybe we should have happy hour between that time when they're not buying drinks and it's like completely dead to encourage people buying more drinks. So data analytics doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't require a degree. You could have a freaking calendar with pen and paper and tick marks and still make better business decisions based on this data. It's just looking back at previous information and then making an intelligent decision or guess. That's all there is to it.
Brilliant.
So
Requires a bit of discipline for that, but like people I think undervalue that kind of data. I
well,
think it's a waste of time.
one of the people that we consult for is like a third generation restaurant owner, right? And the thing is, he goes back to his dad and asks, hey, how did you guys used to run this? And lo and behold, the dad says the exact same stuff that we said. Ours is based off of technical data, off of the new stuff, and his was based off of pure old-fashioned grit experience and elbow grease. And we were saying the same things. The data said, hey, do this. And the old guy said, hey, do this because this is what worked. And lo and behold, we're both right, but they're both from data. It's just that his data took 20 years to figure out. Ours took 6 months. Right? And data is data. So it doesn't matter. So data analytics to make your stuff go? Absolutely. Just, don't take 20 years if you don't need to.
Yeah. I know you said before a very wise thing in the marketing sphere. Something I've learned from you in answer to your question.
All right.
You asked me before. You don't know.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you know. Try it out and check the data. And you say like when you first pay for ads, you're sending your money to die.
Yeah.
But you're gleaning from it what people respond to or don't respond to. But so be humble enough to let the data show you what's going on, right?
Absolutely. And you don't have to spend a lot to do that, right? You don't have to sacrifice that much to do that, right? Yes, you're sending off your money to die with only $5 or $10 a day, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get a lot of data for that.
$1,000 a day, don't scale to $1,000 till you figure out the $5 and $10 question, right? You spend $5 or $10 and you make more money back than you spent. You keep upping that ante a little bit. Okay, now let's do $10, let's do $20, let's do $100 a day, until the money that you spend doesn't give back more money. Then you realize, okay, well, we've hit a roadblock or a snag, and then you change it up again. And you slowly scale up, and then when it stops working, scale the hell back down again. Right? Have the propensity to do that, so that way, I don't care what your ego says, it's what the numbers say.
Yeah. I guess back in the day, that's why there was it was all about focus groups. You were going to spend $10,000, $100,000 on a magazine ad. You better make sure it's going to draw in some customers. But now you can trial your ads in little bits and get your focus group data in real time.
That's an open wound for me. There's too many customers I've had to discuss very forcibly, stop running magazine ads. It doesn't work for you. Right? And they go, well,
for anyone.
Well, we got a VoIP number for $1 that routed back to the regular number. And I counted the number of times the VoIP number was called off of the ad, and sometimes it was 0. And I'm like, see?
Can't argue with data. All right, here we go. So here's what not to do. This is kind of related as well. Neglecting customer feedback. Ignoring customer feedback can lead to missed opportunities for improvement and can alienate your customer base. Oh, it looks like this has triggered a memory for you.
This is today. So Grumpy Benchy guy.
Grumpy,
I'm so appalled that, and I'm I don't know, a level 7 Google reviewer. Apparently that's a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow! Like I'm Google said, they just sent me a message. I'm in the top 10% of Google reviewers in the world. I'm like, really? I do this half-assed on weekends when I go out with my wife. But since I do it like religiously, I guess I'm in the top 10. Anyway, I looked at the Menchies, and I swear to you, every other review complained about same old guy. That he was rude, that he was condescending. Oh man, there was this one review. It was like, they were like, yeah, but it was like a $5 difference. And this guy was so mad that he had to print a receipt. That he's like, okay, here, now you can laminate it and stick it on your wall. It literally says, now you can laminate it and stick it on your wall. Because he was so just. And he's not realizing that these offers are the only things dragging you to customers, because nobody wants to show up in December.
He's lucky I love Menchie's frozen yogurt so much.
But yeah, neglecting customer feedback. Like, there are a lot of customers angry with this guy, right? Because at first I was just like, how could you be in the service industry and be this rude? And then I looked, I'm like, oh wow, he's that rude. At least he's consistent. He's rude to everyone.
Yeah, he wasn't picking on you.
No, he's just at least he's a consistent asshole, right? But neglecting customer feedback. Like, if I was the owner of this place and I saw 12 people bitching about the same old guy, it'd be like, maybe we should give him some training or hire someone who's not as grumpy, right? So, neglecting customer feedback, yeah, do not neglect customer feedback. Please listen to your customers. So.
All right, that's pretty straightforward. Resisting change. Oh, do not resist change. Oh, move your cursor. There we go. In a rapidly evolving market, being inflexible or resistant to change can leave your business behind. Essential to stay adaptable and open to new strategies.
Well, back to the guys using the magazine ads, right?
Yeah.
Magazine ads weren't working, but for whatever reason, they were so just heart-centered, stuck on the magazine ad, because that's what they've always done, right? And so there was this car dealership again. They were spending $150,000 a month on marketing. And yeah, they were surviving and they were making money, but they were so scared. They didn't know what was working, because they weren't measuring it. They didn't know what was working and they didn't know what wasn't working. So they were just too scared to touch anything. They're like, yeah, don't screw with it. It's working. Leave it alone. And so, when I showed them how to measure stuff, here's a QR code. You can count the number of times someone scans this thing. Here is a voice over IP number. No one knows your phone number. They're just going to push whatever number's on the thing, right? And so once they figured it out, they started to realize half of their ad spend, half of their marketing budget was being lit on fire for zero reason at all. And then when they doubled down on the stuff that worked, oh holy cow, money went through the roof, and they were making way more. They were making money hand over fist. And it just goes back to that same saying, right? The language of business is accounting. It's not marketing. It's not sales. It's not the fancy website. It's accounting. What worked and what didn't work. And it's not about how does it make me feel. It's no, how much money is in the bank, right? And that's really what business is. It's nothing personal. It's just business. And that saying is more true than people realize, right? It's nothing personal. It's just business, right? But just add the numbers. Listen to the damn numbers. So resisting change, absolutely. Don't resist change, And even if you don't want to use all of the newest fangly things, cut the stuff. Cut the stuff that doesn't work. I can't believe I have to convince people to cut the stuff that doesn't work. But that's half of my job as a consultant sometimes. It's like, that doesn't work anymore. Maybe we should stop doing that. So there you go. But convincing them to measure it is hard because I think they already know the answer. And then when you show them the answer, they're still in this belief that, but we've always done magazine ads. And then, when one day they stop doing the magazine ads, and guess what? The business doesn't burn to the ground. They're still angry that it stopped working. Which boggles my mind. I'm like, who cares? Magazine
people have a need to feel right.
Yeah, they do. And so sometimes it's that ego that gets in the way of business. Like if you can just let it go, right? I actually learned to love being wrong. Right? Because in my previous life, I was a computer programmer, and if you're wrong, everybody dies. Right? So literally, like we were doing this for like NASA and the Pentagon. I'm like, okay, if I screw this up, how many people die? This many. Oh God. Don't screw up the math, Earl. Okay. So I think, what was it? Every time that the Intel factory was down for like an hour, they lost like $18 million. I'm like, what? On this report? Yeah. Holy cow. And so yeah, it took me 3 hours to fix something. Yeah, that's a lot of money down the drain. So there you go. So don't resist change for sure.
Yeah, definitely one of the bigger lessons I've learned in my life is that is to revel in the glory of being wrong. It means you're learning something.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, like, the way that we're taught as children, sometimes, being wrong is bad, right? No, just there's nothing wrong with being wrong. Just try not to screw up the same way twice.
That's the whole ethos of the show, isn't it? Earl and the Idiot. I'm embracing being an idiot over here, and look how much I'm learning.
Hilarious thing is I'm happy being stupid too. It's just like, nope, whenever I screw something up, I'm like, yeah, that was dumb. Hey, let's not do that again. And then when we try and we pivot and we change, oh look, that one worked, but we never in a million years would have tried that. Except for testing.
Bingo. Okay, so here's our red hot tip from upgraded AI overlords, AI over overlords. Red hot tip: focus on customer experience. In 2024, businesses that prioritize exceptional customer experiences are likely to stand out. This means not just meeting, but exceeding customer expectations, personalizing interactions, and creating a seamless journey across all touch points. By doing so, you not only retain existing customers, but also turn them into advocates for your brand, leading to organic growth through word of mouth and referrals. Remember, a satisfied customer is the best business strategy of all! Exclamation point.
The funny thing is, it's absolutely right. At the end of the day, word of mouth, as old fashioned as it sounds, is one of the damn best sources for new customers. But the problem is you can't depend on pure word of mouth alone. That's got to be word of mouth plus systems plus structure, right?
Yeah.
And so this saying, "a satisfied customer is the best business strategy," absolutely. But then you have to pair that with, hey, don't forget to remind your customers to send you referrals. Hey, don't forget to remind your customers to leave you a review on Google. Hey, don't forget to remind your customers, tell your friends, right? Or bring your friends. And so it's up to the business owner to, number one, do this, but then structure your offers such that it lets people bring more people and they look like the hero coming in.
Mm-hmm. Right? And it's also true that, your neighbor, coworker, whatever says, oh, XYZ company was really great. I had a great time there. That goes in your head. You might not act on it now, but when you see an ad later, you go, oh
Yes.
yeah, so and so said this was good, right?
Well, they're saying that it's on average 7 to 12 touch points on average before someone buys something. And one of those touch points may have been your neighbor saying that this yogurt place is the best yogurt place ever, right? And then you go. Right? And as long as it legitimately is the best yogurt place, the better. And again, I have no problem with the product. The product was great. It was delicious, as per usual. It's just that the service was terrible. So, will we go back to that one? Probably not. But will we still respect the brand and go to another location? Absolutely. I would try another location in a heartbeat.
It's funny. I just found it amusing. I'll go back there. It's the closest Menchie's, and I love Menchie's, so I'll go back. I don't care.
Oh yeah, no, we will.
But
I don't
there's
mind.
lots of people that won't. I know.
Yeah, I don't mind going to a different location just to try it out. Product is good. The service is bad. I'll go someplace else. Same product, different person running the service. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of feel like since COVID, there's a kind of a change in attitude where people sort of take the customer interaction for granted. Like you're there at the restaurant, you're there at, Burger King,
Mm-hmm.
and you're here for the Burger King, and we're going to give you Burger King,
Right.
But it seems like there's no interest in making it a pleasant experience. There's no interest in being friendly. It's like, here's the burger you wanted, and that's it. So it seems like if you went back to kind of an old school 50s, hey, can I clean your windshield, check the tires, sort of, how you doing? Hey, you and the missus looking great, whatever, like back to that old school focus on making it a good experience. I think you'll really stand out in this day and age because people kind of take customer interactions for granted these days.
Well, for the longest
time, which is weird. You'd think that people would take it less for granted after such a disaster like COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's strange, but the little bit of a service and the smile go a long way, and it's an extra long way nowadays because just the way things are going. So there we go. I think it's time for the hack.
Yeah, you got the thing ready to go?
I got it ready.
Hack of the week.
There you go. Hack of the week.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a combination of all the bits and bobs that the AI talked about. And this might be a rehash from before. But the funny thing is that I've probably said this at least a dozen times over the last year, on the Tuesday events, at live networking events, probably even here on the show. And the number of times I've said this, and I swear somebody was there listening, and I say it again, they're like, oh, wow, it's a great idea. Dude, I just told you this like a month ago. And so it's apparently it's worth repeating, right? And so this hack of the week might be a rehash, but there's so many people who've heard it, not done it. And hearing it and not doing it is might as well not have heard it, right? So if you're hearing it the same again, or this sounds familiar, go and do this. Because the hilarious thing is I started doing this myself, and oh my God, it's working. And so the hack of the week this week is reach out to all your favorite customers from the past year. It's a new year, new you, new business. Reach out to all your favorite customers over the past year, take them out for coffee, one-on-one, and just have a conversation with them. And at the end of the conversation, asking for referrals. If each of your favorite customers gives you 2 referrals each, you've just tripled the best part of your work life, because these are your favorite people to hang out with. So I started asking the favorite people that I currently serve now, right? Because you have good customers and some customers that you're like, I could deal with that guy. And everyone has these. But the ones that you like, you see them and you brighten up and you're having a good day and all the meetings are good with these people, take them out for coffee. Because 1, they already like you. 2, they're going to appreciate it. And 3, anyone that they refer, usually birds of a feather flock together. So if they're good people, who are they going to refer to you? More good people. And as ChatGPT was just saying, a satisfied customer is the best strategy of all. Well, turn it into a systemized satisfied customer. And I mean, it's nice taking your best customers out for a coffee anyways. 1, you spend it on you can write it off as part of your marketing budget. You get some insight into your business you never had before, and a fresh set of referrals. So there you go. There's your hack of the week.
Swing, swing.
There you go. All right.
Then
Any
I
parting
guess
words
we've-
before you play us out?
I don't think so. I think it's gone great.
Fantastic. Well,
I think
glad
we
to be
just-
back. And I know we're a little rusty, but Happy New Year and good to be back.
And to you, where are your steps at? How are we doing?
I am at 8,900. So almost
You gotta
there.
get to 10.
I'll get to 10 eventually. So yeah, absolutely.
When you're on the treadmill, what's your steps per hour? How long is 10,000?
Oh, super slow. Super
Yeah.
slow. Because I'm sitting here talking. I can't be like panting and sweating. Right.
Right, right.
So I'm at 1 mile per hour
Okay.
on the walking treadmill. It's set to 1. And yeah, so I'm walking very comfortably, just relaxed and chill and hanging out. And it's funny, there's this app called Catchwalk, I think it's called. And so every time you take 100 steps, they give you this coin or whatever, and you can cash the coins in for Starbucks and Amazon and Walmart and a bunch of other stuff. And I've already made like, I don't know, $40, $50 off of this thing just by walking. And
What?
so now that I'm walking on a regular basis all the time, and there's no excuse because I have a freaking treadmill now, it's been great.
That's the hack of the week. What's that called? I'm getting that right now.
Okay, I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link.
Nice. Nice.
So I think if you use my referral link, you get extra coins and I get extra coins, and it costs neither of us nothing. So
This is the real hack of the week, Earl.
real hack of the week, you can get paid to walk. Happy New Year.
bonus.
There's your New Year's resolution. Get paid to walk. You're gonna walk anyway.
Pay for my bird watching trips.
Absolutely. It'll buy you a new set of binoculars, it'll buy you whatever, who knows?
You don't know how much the new set of binoculars I want costs.
There's a lot of steps.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You want to play us out?
I'll play us out. Here we go.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Thank you, Earl. Thanks everybody for joining us. We will see you next week.